Might have pulled something. I might have pulled something there. I'm not sure.
You what? You what?
I might have pulled something.
Oh
I'm
my
not
gosh.
sure. Might have hurt myself.
Oh gosh. All right. What are we doing? Episode number 19, and this is for real.
19.
19. Yeah.
I remember when I was 19. That was an awkward time for me.
Shoot. 19. That was like 110 years ago, I think.
Yeah, it was a long time. I was not when I was younger. It was a bad situation for me. I got wedgied and stuffed into a locker.
At 19?
Yeah, that's why I took up martial arts, because I was tired of getting stuffed into a locker. I got stuffed into a locker. One time they wedgied me and it stuck me in a locker, and I couldn't get the wedgie out. And I was stuck in the locker. All the kids in school saw me in the hallway, and I had to come out of the locker and pull the wedgie out of my underpants in front of the whole hallway full of kids. And then they stuck me upside down in a trash can. It was a terrible time when I was young.
Is this all true?
This is true. This is a true story.
Oh, that's a sad story.
I know.
And
it made me who I am today.
On our pre-show get-together that we just had a minute ago, we didn't talk about any of this, but that's a whole other subject. We could
get in.
19. When I was in school, I got the heck beat out of me a couple of times. It really sucked. Kind of like I didn't get thrown into a locker, but I remember I went out to play basketball. I think I was about, I'm going to say maybe 10, something like that. Go out on this court with this other kid, and there's two big kids out there, and one of them, I still remember this because it did stuff to my head, but he had on this German Nazi helmet that was all chrome. It was chrome. It was the weirdest thing, but it was a Nazi helmet, a German helmet.
Yeah, I can picture it in my head.
Yeah, it was all chrome. And I go out there to play basketball. He comes over to me and just started wailing on me. I don't even know this kid. He punches me in the stomach a couple of times, and he's like, at least 5 years older than me at the time. And that's one time. And then another time, I'm going home from school, and in those days, you actually walked home from school, and it wasn't like you were going to get murdered or anything like nowadays. Yeah. And I remember walking, and it was probably a mile, I think, something like that. So I'm walking home, and all of a sudden I come around a bend, and there's like 5, 6 guys there. And one of them was like the school bully, and he decides he wants to beat the crap out of me, except I took off running, and I don't think they caught me that time. Boy, way to dredge up that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Memories. I
have some of those.
I got to go to counseling now. Thanks.
I know. Well, you got to get it out. You got to get it out. Otherwise, it just sits in there and festers.
We should rename this show. It's all about therapy. Right?
If not for the good Lord and my karate dojo, I would be in big trouble right now. So,
and you did learn karate. And
I did. I learned all kinds of fighting stuff. And now I don't see those kids anymore, but I sure wish they were trying to stuff me in a locker today. We'd have a couple of words to say. That's for sure.
Now you and I just fight.
Yeah.
Well, verbally.
And you've already stuffed me in a locker once, but at least you didn't give me a wedgie. So that was good.
Nice. Okay. All right. I think we got something coming up here.
We do. We have an unofficial sponsor for the show today.
We do.
There it is. Did you hear that, cow? That went right there and tore my pants. So now I can't stand up anymore.
Okay. All right. What do you got for us?
So last time on our show, we had Tasty 10 horse food. Today, I went out and I purchased Tasty 14.
Ooh.
Wait. It's from those people right there. Wait. There it is. But here it is. Tasty 14. And when I went to the feed store and I asked the guy at the counter, I said, "Is this going to taste better than the Tasty 10?" Thank you.
Sometimes they just do that.
They just spontaneously combust. Wait, I have to reach in here. So I asked the guy at the store, I said, "Is this going to taste better than Tasty 10?" He goes, I don't know. I've never tasted it. And I said, well, I've tasted Tasty 10 and it was all right.
You actually said that to him?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? I
Yeah.
can see you do
He's
it.
just a kid. He just started laughing. He thought I was kidding. He probably thought I was kidding. He didn't know. He's never seen the podcast clearly.
Oh,
So
well.
he doesn't know. So here we are. We've got our Tasty 14. We're going to try this, see if it tastes any better.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, I already put it in there. Well, you know, I'm going to say it's there's a little bit of extra taste there.
Really?
It actually has a flavor. The other one didn't taste bad.
Can you hold one up so we can see it? Just one nugget or however they come?
Yeah. It's more like a pellet than it is a nugget. Let me reach in there and see if I can find a pellet.
Okay.
There
He's
it is.
Reaching in, folks. He's
reaching in.
Live. Do not attempt this on your own.
You don't want to do this. Don't let your children try Tasty 14. Wait, where there it is.
There it is. Oh my gosh.
It, right there.
Okay. Now, once again, this is for. There you go. I was hoping you'd do it again.
I don't want to waste.
I know.
I don't want to waste. You can't just throw it back in there.
Horses or dogs? I'm sorry, I missed that.
You know, I'll bet I should try and see if my dogs would like it. Let's see. On the picture, it has your bovine and a goat, and then wait over here a horse. So
yeah.
we know it feeds at least those 3 people.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there.
Do you have?
Not sure if this is edible for human consumption, but
yeah, but you just did.
I just did it.
I just want to know if you have a sudden desire to neigh all of a sudden.
It does say exercise caution if feeding to dinosaurs. Right there.
It's
not kidding.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. So this has been around for a while. Let me see if I can get it up there into the camera.
Oh my gosh. Okay, stop.
Right there.
Let's see. Where are you?
All the way just above the blue line.
Which blue line? Oh.
Exercise
caution if feeding to dinosaurs. I like that. So, that's
so this has been around for a couple hundred years. Thank you.
Okay.
Who knew that dinosaurs ate this also? But I wouldn't hand feed them.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So there you go.
All right. So that's our unofficial sponsor. Once again, it's Tasty
14.
Tasty 14.
Yeah. So if you're getting that for your horse, you're really giving him a treat. That's for sure.
Do not feed dinosaurs with it.
Not by hand. Just use caution. It says exercise caution.
Right. Okay.
So I would just kind of heave the bag at them and run is what I would do. Let them figure it out.
If you have your own T-Rex at home, just throw the bag right at them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You done with this part now?
I am. Yeah, we can move on.
You ready?
Yeah. Go. Whoa.
Okay, all right.
There it is.
All right.
I took the rest of my pants off. Right now I'm sitting on my bare bottom. It's just a bare bottom.
Okay. I'm going to let John Eaden take this next segment. Run with
it. This was, I don't even know where or how I saw this, but there was a group of pastors from different, I'm not even sure if there was like maybe a rabbi in there or not. I don't know, but it was definitely pastors. And this one guy was supposed to be one of the Christian pastors on this board. And they were all from different kind of theologies, I guess. And they're all going and they're arguing about the tenets of their religions and back and forth and back and forth. And it was actually very interesting. And then at this point, this one pastor says, he goes, if you're one of those people who says, love the sinner and hate the sin, you're a liar. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to everyone. And he's getting all ugly about it. And I was like, whoa, dude. If I could have talked to him and just like squished his head inside like that, I would have, because clearly he has never had children. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. At least that part. Or he's probably never loved anyone other than himself ever in his lifetime. Wow. But if you have children, they are always doing things, lifestyles, sinning up the butt that you don't agree with, and you're yelling and screaming. Do I hate them? No. Am I going to? What? Go ahead.
No, I said, of course not.
No, you love your kids. You
Right.
do anything you love. You die for them. There's a Franklin Covey who has like they used to be in the old days. It used to be a book, and it used to be an organizer.
Mhm.
Like the
That's
Daily Organizer.
Franklin. You have your
Yeah,
Franklin.
Franklin.
Right.
Yeah, Franklin Organizer.
Mhm.
Well, they used to have classes on those, and one of the things Franklin would talk about on how you decide what you're going to put in what order.
Mhm.
He said, if there's anything that you would walk across the beam for, the thing that's the most important, what's the most important thing in your life? And you're like, oh, of course, my wife and my family. Would I walk across the beam for her? No, because I'm afraid of heights. But
But
if,
but if
but
you weren't, you would.
but I would go
Yeah.
across the beam.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the kids are one of those things. You'd go across the beam for your kids. You'd do anything. And it doesn't matter. They do stuff you don't agree with. You do. This includes, they were gay and you're not, or they decide they're going to be a Buddhist and you're a Christian, and whatever. The living with a girlfriend, having sex with girls out of wedlock, whatever, or women having sex. You have girls. I don't have girls, so
We
I don't
just
know.
went to PG-13 here, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
So
all right,
cover
all right.
the ears of your children, and
Now
if
I have to
you're
put a warning up.
yeah,
Anybody that watches this, thanks a lot, man.
and if you're older, if you're aged like myself, then you probably don't want to listen to this because it'll give you a heart attack. But anyways, I just thought, first, he's a Christian. He's supposed to be a Christian pastor, and he says this, and clearly he's forgotten about forgiveness as one.
Yeah.
Two, John 3:16, the most basic of all verses in the Bible, says, God so loved the world that he gave his only son for us. And you're like, do you not understand that people have the ability, people are not, black and white. We're very complicated, and we can love someone, we can care about people, and maybe not necessarily agree with things in their lives,
Right.
but we can still love them with all of our heart.
Right.
And I have many gay friends that I love insistently. I have transgender friends that I care about. There's, and of course my children who I would like to smack in the back of the head. But they're he just didn't know what the guy didn't know what he was talking about. He's a liar. He's from the pit of hell, as they say, from the pit of hell.
And I don't want to get into this too much, but it's got the whole political thing. We got the left, we got the right.
Right.
Everybody's arguing. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, would you please just stop? Can't we just get along?
Well, even if you got that it's funny because this is a 250th year anniversary, and this is probably not the show to do. We should do it on the 4th of July show. But the whole idea, if you ever like read the writings of the founding fathers, it's amazing. There's the Federalist Papers and the Non-Federalist Papers, a whole 2 little booklets of arguments just on the basis of the Constitution itself, and they had such differencing of opinions. The arguments were so intense that they almost burst into fistfights. But the whole thing is that that's the only way that you're going to come to a true compromise, and not the kind of compromise where you go, it's all of me, none of you. That's a compromise.
Right.
but they came to compromises, even if they didn't always agree on everything. And this, like George Washington even said that when they were discussing the idea of slavery, they were talking about George Washington believed that slavery would have to, and it was inevitable.
Right.
And most of them believed it. Even Thomas Jefferson,
Right.
who fought tooth and nail to maintain slaves, believed that slavery would eventually have to end. And it was just, but they would never have gotten. They needed 100% of everybody, all 13 colonies, to believe in what they were doing, and so they came to a true. Whether you liked it or didn't like it, it's one of those things where nobody wins. Then you have a good compromise.
Right. Yeah.
And that was kind of what happened there. And it's the same thing. You've got to let us have our differences and let our differences come together. Otherwise, we're just one group of people being bullies, and
Right.
the other group of people having to just sit there in silence and take it.
Right.
And if they fight back, then now they're bullies. It just gets ridiculous.
Exactly.
So Yeah, so I was not in favor of this young man and believed he should go back to seminary school right away, and his frock should be defrocked, and he should not have a congregation. He should just go away
And,
and
or
or
at least get educated.
at least read John 3:16 one more time, and then you will understand the idea of, oh gosh, that frightened me.
Okay, moving on to marriage. Marriage.
Oh, talking about compromise. Here's
what a segue here. I don't know.
You know, that's funny because one of my favorite, we talked about Star Trek before, which we'll come to later, but Star Trek, The Next Generation, no, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, he was talking about, one of the characters is talking about marriage, and it was a great conversation. He goes, the husband and the wife, they come together and they're going to compromise. She wants to go out to a nice restaurant. He wants to have hot dogs. So they compromise. They go out to a nice restaurant.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the things I was going to talk about. I mean, we're not talking about marriage, and it's like, honey, where do you want to go for dinner tonight? I don't care. Where do you want to go?
Right.
We're in the car. We're driving, right? We're driving down the street. Let's stop and get something to eat. Okay, what do you feel like? I don't care. Whatever you want. Well, how about this? No, I don't want that. Okay. Well, how about this? No. I don't want that. Well, I thought you said you don't care. I don't care. Anywhere you want. Well, how about this?
Except for those two places.
It's like, okay, so what do you want to do? And that's where we end up going, right?
Right. Exactly. It's exactly right. It's go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we're talking a little bit about control. Okay. And here's a couple of examples. She's not coming in, is she? Okay.
My wife is probably on the other side of the wall right now, listening to everything we're saying.
Just want to make sure I'm not going to get hit in the head with something here. But okay. We got the remote control. I mean, the TV remote control. What do you want to watch? I don't care. What do you want to? It's the same kind of thing. So let me have the remote. Okay, fine. So I give her the remote because she wants to control the volume all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not to mention the channel, and not to mention because we record a lot of stuff, so we wanted to what do you call it? Shuttle through the commercials.
Yeah, you want to fast forward through the commercials. You're not allowed to. I'm not allowed to have the remote control because I don't shuttle fast enough. So
I suck at shuttling. I got
yeah. I'm a horrible shuttler, and I know I am. So I just all right. Here you go. You shuttle away. So. It's true.
It's 20 minutes trying to find a show. We just finished. I'm not going to name the show, but we just finished 40 episodes of this one particular show. It was actually really, really good. I don't know if I want to mention it. I won't mention.
We got to wait till the TV section.
Yeah. Okay. But the point is, what was I going to say? Oh, the point is, we got all the way through the show. We get to the very end. It's like, now what do we do? We got to find another show. So now the last 2 days we've been on a search for a new show to watch. And so, okay, let's talk about the thermostat. It's too cold in here. It's too cold in here. It's too hot in here. Wait, I turned it down 1 degree. I turned it down 2 degrees. No. So I turned it to where I like it, and trying to compromise. And then, a little bit later on, it's like I'm sweating. It's like, what the heck? And I go back and I check it out. It's been turned up.
There's only a 2 degrees. There's only that's the maximum of variation there can be in the temperature.
That's your margin of distance.
That's all your margin.
Grace, right there.
It's got to stay there. You can't turn a fan on though because it blows the air. We can't have the air blowing on. So it's got to be, the air has to be settled at that temperature constantly.
You are right.
It's like a greenhouse.
It's 2 degrees of grace. That's it. Actually, I'm going to do a whole sermon on my other show, 2 Degrees of Grace.
I think it sounds like a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
2 degrees of grace.
Anything else about marriage you want to get into here?
Only, I was just thinking about this. I read an article not long ago that was talking about.
You read an article?
I did. It took me about 3 days, but I did actually.
And it was like 1 page long.
It was a paragraph, and and in the article, the guy with I don't know, it could have been a woman. I have no idea. And they were talking about what women want, in a man, and they're discussing all the things that women want in a man, and they want, to be open with feelings and this and that and the other. And then at the bottom of the whole thing, it says, but what they really want but they want the old-fashioned guy who opens the door, that closes the door. But when they're younger, they don't want that. And then when they want it, it's too late. And those guys have moved on and found themselves a nice woman, and they're living in their house and they're married. And so now there's all these older women running around with no husbands and cats, and that's it. And they're stuck by themselves.
Oh,
and I don't know if that's true, but
do you open the car door for your wife?
Sometimes I can't get there fast enough.
I'm pretty good at that.
I try. Yeah, I do try. Sometimes I forget also, we'll be getting to the car and we'll be talking, and all of a sudden she'll open her own door and I'll feel like a heel. So, but yeah, I try. I also will switch to the curb side if we're walking, to protect her from whatever may be on the street side.
You switch to the curbside? You mean you get out of your car and go over to her?
No, like if we're walking down the street and I happen to be closer to the building, I'll switch sides.
Now, do you know where that came from? A lot of people don't know where that came from.
I heard that was from the horse and buggy days when they would go through the water that would keep the girls from getting wet.
Okay.
Or dirty.
Okay. I heard a variation on that. Mine goes back to probably even before that, medieval days or whatever, but that the guy would be on the roadside because of marauders.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah. So I think we're both right. So,
yeah.
So I even told her the other day when I switched sides, just like you do, I'm protecting you from marauders. That's what I said.
I'm going to use that next time. I'm going to use that word because I like that word.
Marauders.
Yeah. I do that to my wife. My wife is so funny, and she uses words. She uses, like the other day, she used the word billowing.
Oh.
And we've got to billow. We've got to make sure we're billowing. So I do that to her. She comes up with a really nice, like out of the blue word that is funny. And then I'll just go off and she's like, okay, I knew you were going to do that. So let's wait until you get it all out of your system.
Nice.
So yeah, she's got me figured out now.
Chores. Are you good with chores?
I'm awful with chores. I have specific chores. I have many specific chores that I don't think I should be doing. I think trash. Well, trash should be my tour because it's a heavy object. Yeah. But laundry.
You don't do laundry, dude?
I'm forced to do the laundry.
Oh, good. I do too.
And I have to take out the trash.
Good.
And my wife takes all of the dishes out of the dishwasher and throws them all on the counter. It's my job to put them away. So,
well, at least you have a system work.
It's a system, sure. That way, at least her part of the work is done. She can start putting things in the dishwasher without waiting for me to empty the dishwasher.
Good.
So yeah. So
I'm going to give you my chores. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I do. What do I do? I do the trash. She does every once in a while, but I'm like 98%. Okay, so I do the trash. I do laundry. Although the other day, I got to tell you, I was just kidding with her. But she said, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm doing a girl job."
That's what I keep saying. Yeah, that doesn't go over well.
So I do a lot of laundry, 90% of it. Also, I do all my own ironing, all of it.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, she hasn't ironed for me for years, but I don't ask her because
well, that's something we should have. That's a carryover from the single man days where you're supposed to iron.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
So it's the one thing that we start ironing, we can think about the days when we were single and we could do anything we wanted to. We didn't have to take out the trash. We could just let it overflow onto the floor.
All over the place.
If we wanted to, yeah.
Also, I vacuum. I'm very proud of that.
We switch off on that deal.
Do you?
Yeah. She'll if she gets started, man, you can't stop her. She will go. She'll vacuum the porch. She'll vacuum the garage. She will just keep vacuuming. I open my doors on my car and just hope she'll pass through. So
that's good.
But she gets going on the vacuuming, she'll take off with that.
That's pretty good. Okay, so needless to say, I think in our audience, if they care, that both of us are pretty good at chore, work.
Yeah, you should leave in the comments when you if you comment on the video, tell us what your chores are.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And what your husband's or wife's chores are.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We can discuss them on the next program.
And that's another way for us to know if you actually watched the show.
Yeah, because you never know. It could be like the college test where you just turn, like my son used to do when he was in college. He would just turn the class on and he'd take his face off, and he just would leave the room. And you're like, well, how do you learn anything? I don't learn anything anyway.
Doesn't matter. I just want the grade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh gosh.
Okay,
All right.
We killed this one.
I think we did. We murdered
Here
it.
we go.
Oh,
yeah, there it is.
Holy mackerel.
All right.
Holy cow.
So you had, holy cow. Where did that come from?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's from, I think it actually is India, I think, isn't it? Or it could be from the Bible, but it's when cows were considered sacred animals.
Yeah. So see, we say a lot of things we don't even know where they came from. So.
And if you don't agree with us, or you know the real reason,
yeah,
we're just mostly making this up.
Yeah, we are. Just put that in the comments.
Put that in the comments too. Let us know.
Also, I'm gonna tell our audience a little tidbit here of information they may not know, but I think it's obvious. This is non-scripted.
What? What?
And for the most part, we have no idea what we're doing.
What? What? Of course, it's a script. Well, no, it's all written down.
There's a outline here, but I got like 2 things on it, and we've already jumped into all kinds of other stuff. So, anyway, okay, you ready to move on again?
Yes, we did. We already did, I think.
No, we just did. Holy cow!
That's because you did the swoosh that took off the rest of my pants.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. He's gonna do it again. Now my underwear is gone. I'm sitting here in the buff, as it were.
That's not a visual I want.
Well, you're stuck with it now. It's your fault.
All right, you wanted to talk about...
We were talking about, let's just first, I'm going to say this. 1, Kathleen Kennedy, no longer in charge at Disney of the Star Wars universe. I think I can hear in the distance the hallelujahs from the Star Wars community, which is, thank goodness for that. But second, my second favorite thing, Star Wars, then there's Star Trek. The Starfleet Academy canceled.
Oh yeah,
canceled off the air.
So
Thank goodness. But
is that like a good thing?
That is one of the best cancellations on Earth.
Really?
And the weird thing is, it's coming from. Thank you. Yeah, that's necessary. Yeah, and here's the funny thing: is CBS is like. I don't know who's running the TV version of that company, but that person needs to have their head examined. So they got rid of Blue Bloods, which was a rather popular show still, even though it was having declining.
Like 30 years, hasn't it? I know.
No, it was like, I think it's 16 or something like that. Maybe 20. I'm not sure. But and they've had some declining ratings a little bit, but
it's 97 years old, I believe now.
I don't think he's that old, is he?
98.
I don't know if he's that old.
No,
we should look him up. But I like Tom Selleck.
I like Tom Selleck.
Ever since Magnum PI, the guy can't go wrong.
No, he's awesome. I love Tom Selleck.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
And so they and the show was still one of their best shows on CBS. They got rid of it because they want to make a change. And then they
excuse me, I'm interrupting you. Tom Selleck is 81 years old.
Gosh, that guy's
just looked it up.
He's still a good-looking dude for 81 years old, man.
Yeah, he is.
I hope I look like that when I'm 81. Anyways,
you have to grow a mustache.
I can't do that. I look like a weirdo with a mustache, like a sex child molester.
We would stuff you into a locker then again.
See, it would start all over again.
Okay,
my elderly age.
Forgive me. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So they got rid of Starfleet Academy, but they were so confident. I don't know why. This is why this person needs to be examined. They were so confident this show was going to be a hit for them that they made 2 seasons back to back.
But they canceled after the first one, right?
Canceled after the first one because nobody's watching the show. So now they're gonna
episodes in the can or whatever.
Yeah. So now they're gonna wait. They're gonna waste airtime by showing the other one too. So get out there and binge before it's really gone. So I'm gonna. Oh, that show smells so bad that every time you go past it, when it shows up on your what you can watch, there's an actual smell that comes out of the TV set. So I had to say. And okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna hit on this. There's a whole cartoon. I think we might have talked about this. A whole cartoon series of TV shows that are part of the Star Wars universe. There's they have, and it's like it happens in between films. One of the most popular ones was the Clone Wars, which ran for kind of a while, many seasons, came back again, kind of finished it out. Then they had the Bad Batch, which is kind of a throw off of that group. And it's really great because it just kind of gives you an idea of what happened. And it's Filoni, and he's a Star Trek geek from all get out. And then it goes on to, a couple other things. It's some of the characters like Ahsoka came out of those cartoons.
Is this a good show? Is that what
I love it, man.
Okay.
I never watched it, and my son made me watch it, and I binged it and couldn't stop. I couldn't stop, and I'm looking for more. So then I haven't watched Bad Batch yet, but I want to. They had Rebels, which comes after that, and they're all good. Every one of them's good. And then they just recently came out with Darth Maul, who is in I think the first remake of Star Wars.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. He's like a red
group of buildings where you go shopping. But
yeah. It's made by a guy named Darth, and it's a mall. It's a mall full of Star Wars stuff. No, it's nothing like that. He's a great character, but they're telling his story, and he's a very interesting. But it's on television now. Again, Filoni does a great job. It's great. It's a little bit darker. And it's going to be one of those shows where they're going to have the bad guy is going to be kind of that anti-hero, but it's good. So I really liked it. And then my son was saying, I don't know if you've ever watched Avatar, the Airbender.
It's just the original movie, but no.
There wasn't a movie. The movie was nowhere near like the cartoon. The cartoon is way better. Okay. It's actually really good. They had 2 sets of those too, and pretty great stories, great art. Everything was good. So the Avatar, the Last Airbender is what it's called, I think.
So I have an idea for our listeners. If you want to put in your comments also any shows that you might want to recommend to us that we can watch. I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, or maybe it was this on the pre-show, but my wife and I are looking for a new, series to start watching. So if you want to, make some comments in the comment thing, comments, telling us, giving us what we should watch.
Tell us what we should watch. Yeah. But be healthy. Hey, be healthy. You know what I'm going to say about that? Get up every hour and do some air squats. And if you can do some push-ups, but at least do some air squats every hour.
In the air?
Do that. You just get up and you do some squats. You just squat up and down.
So you don't have to be in the air.
Well, you can if you really want to go for it. But you can get into the air and then do squats. But get up and be healthy. Do some squats. Studies show.
That's it.
I can't stand up.
David Novak. It's a wrap right now. So, 19. It's a wrap.